everyone, Kelly here, and today I wanted to share with you my summer book haul. So I think the last time I did a book haul was in May because I just haven't bought any books for the beginning of the summer. Like in June I bought one book, in July I bought two, and then I kind of went on a little bit of a spree in August. But since I didn't have any towards the beginning of the summer, I just waited until the end of the summer to show you all these. So I've been kind of trying to curb my spending of books just because I have so many to read, but there was just some things that happened in August, like a big library sale where most of these came from that, and so they were like 25 cents. So probably bought more than I needed because of that, but you never know. Maybe some of these I won't end up keeping because, you know, you get to the sale and you're like so excited, and then I'll kind of decide if I'm actually going to keep all of these, but there are some ones I'm really excited for here too as well. And before I get into them, I just want to tell you, if you haven't watched my hauls before, anytime I buy books, I always give $1 to a charity involving like education or literacy for every book that I buy. So for these books that I am talking about today, I'm going to be donating to the International Dyslexia Association. I picked this organization because August is the 2-year anniversary of when my mother-in-law passed away, and before she died she was a tutor for kids with dyslexia, and it was something that she was really passionate about, and so I just want to make a donation in honor of her, and so I'm going to give to that organization that does education and advocacy for people with dyslexia. So let's get into the books. So like I said, I only bought one book in June, and that was at my library where they have like the books for sale. I bought The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton, and I'm actually have already started reading this. I'm reading it this month, and so I don't really know yet what it's about because I didn't actually check out the synopsis because I read The Lake House by her, enjoyed it, and this was 50 cents at the library, so I just picked it out. But hers are like historical fiction type books, so I'm excited to continue reading that. Then in July I only bought 2 books, and they were from Amazon, so they were new. And I bought Golden Curse by M. Lin, which I already have read and I didn't really love. This is like a fairy tale retelling of Rapunzel. It's a trilogy, and I've read book 1 and 2, and I will read book 3 just to end out the trilogy, but it turned out it wasn't really for me. I like fairy tale retellings, but these kind of err on the side of the like romance taking over and it being kind of a real angsty romance, which is not my thing. But I think that it was well written. This is an independent author, so I hate, like, you know, not being able to support an independent author because I'm not going to buy any more of her books. But if you are somebody who likes fairy tale retellings and you don't mind a really heavy romance plot in there, I would check this out because I do think she's a good writer, and it's always good to support independent authors. It just wasn't like the story for me specifically. And then the other one I bought was Obsidian, which is the 3rd book in the Illuminae files, and I have already read this. I just wanted to own the whole series, so I had been looking for them as soon as they came out on paperback, so I got that from Amazon. So those are all the books I bought in July. And then at the beginning of August I had a big unhaul. I think I did a video for that before I moved. I had a ton of books to get rid of. I also got rid of even more from my like shelves as I was putting books on as we were moving into our house. So I had all these books to take to a used bookstore, and in a town near us there's this cute little used bookstore where they just, I mean, like, it is like, it's not like a half-price books, it's not a big one, it's like a family run. They have 2 cats that like live in the store, and so my daughter loved it. She just spent the whole time petting these cats, and so I sold them back my books, and it was amazing. They gave me so much credit. They took all of my books and gave me $75 of credit at their store. I was just amazed because if I had taken that many books to half-price books, I might have gotten like $20. So this was like amazing. And the way they do it is you don't get like I don't get to just buy $75 worth of books for free. You get like to use half of the credit. So if you buy $30 worth of books, you only have to pay $15. You know what I mean? Because, you know, since they're a family run, they still need to make their money, but still like $75 of credit to use Awesome. So my kids were like so absorbed with the cats, I couldn't really like look much. So I only ended up buying 3 books at that time, but they keep your credit on file. So I will be going back definitely. Someday I'll have to vlog there so you can see how it looks and the cute cats that are living there. So the first book I got was The Lost World by Michael Crichton. This is the sequel to Jurassic Park. I'm going to be buddy reading it this month, so I'm very excited to be picking that up soon. I got Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna. I don't know anything about this book at all, but I just read The Nightingale at the beginning of the year, thought it was good, wanted to give Kristen Hanna another try, but I wasn't really interested in The Great Alone, her like brand new book, so I figured that I would try a different one. I don't know when this one came out, like how old it is, but it had a pretty cover. It came out in 2006, so it's fairly old. It has a pretty cover. So I give her one of her older ones a try, see if I like it. And the last one I got there was The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This is the first book in the Chaos Walking series, and the movie is coming out, I think, at the beginning of 2020, and I just really want to read this series, and so when I saw the first book there, I picked it up, and I'm excited to read those. And then in August, after I went to that store, I was watching a vlog on Alex Black's channel. She was rereading one of her favorite series, and I've heard her talk about this series like a million times, and I've always just been interested, but my library doesn't have it, so I just decided to buy it from Thrift Books, and that's the President's Daughter series by Ellen Emerson White. All 4 books were on Thrift Books for like $4 a piece, so I figured why not get them. And these are all about a woman who runs for president. She becomes president, and then her daughter. I think her daughter is a teenager at the beginning of the books, and maybe is going into college later on. So it's The President's Daughter, White House Autumn, Long Live the Queen, and Long May She Reign. So this last one's like huge. So 3 fairly short books and 1 long one, and Alex just raves about them. So I thought for $4 a piece, might as well try out one of my friend's favorite series and see how it is. And then we went on vacation in August, and we go on vacation every year with this group of friends. One of them is my friend Julie, who she, I guess, subscribes to Book of the Month, and so she brought me 2 of her Book of the Month books that she hasn't been keeping them, and like she said, she likes getting Book of the Month, but then she gets rid of them after she reads them, because she lives in, you know, the city in a very small apartment condo, so she doesn't want to keep a lot of things, and she thought that I would like these 2, so she brought them for me. So it's nice of her to bring me like brand new Book of the Month books. And one I had never heard of before, it's called The Reckless Oath We Made by Bren Greenwood. She told me what it was about. I read the inner flap, and I still don't really know what this book is about, but just the way she talked about it, she said it was just like heartbreaking and moving and great. Like I said, I don't really understand what it's about, but because Julie loved it so much, I'm going to try it. So if you have read it, let me know what you thought. And the other one I have heard of, which is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. And this is like the second book by the woman who wrote The Hate U Give. I actually have never read The Hate U Give yet, but I am very excited to read this book now that I own it. And then last, I have a group of books from that big library sale. So a library in the area had like a huge sale, like where it fills the entire room and everything's like 25 or 50 cents. And so I kind of went crazy and bought a bunch, but only spent $4. So I'll show you the books I have, but then I also bought a bunch of children's books too, so that I'm not going to show you. So yeah, lots of books for $4. And like I said, I might not keep all of them. We'll see how space works on my shelf, and if I decide that I went a little overboard. I just got a few middle grade. I'll show you quick, which I got The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me by Roald Dahl. I've never actually heard of this one, but it's extremely short and little, so it might be a fun one to read with my daughter. She's 4, so she's probably getting to the age where she could actually do a little bit longer book like that, so I might read it really quick and then see if it's one I can read with her. I got The Wish by Gail Carson Levine because I've read most of her books, and I just didn't have this one yet, so I wanted to try it. I don't actually know what it's about, but I will read anything she writes and try it. I got The Trumpet of the Swan by E.B. White. This is the same author of Charlotte's Web. I don't remember ever reading this book as a child, so this is going to be a short one that I also might be able to read with my daughter, because his books generally are for a younger audience than like middle grade, like more elementary. So that might be one I'll be reading with my 4-year-old soon. And then same with Beverly Cleary's Ralph S. Mouse. This is another one that's like really short, could be read early elementary. And this, I don't even know what this book is, but I saw it and had to have it. And this is How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You. And I think it's a it's a graphic novel, and just sounds interesting because cats are kind of fun. And then the rest of these are all adult novels mostly. There might be a YA in here, but yeah. So I got Oliver Twist by Dickens, and so I've never read this story, and this was kind of an interesting cover. I'm not really sure whether there's a dog. Is there a dog in this story? I never knew that if there was. And then another classic, I got Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I don't really hear anybody talking about this anymore, so I don't know if this is one of those classics that doesn't really stand the test of time. So we'll see. I might do a little research into that before actually reading it. Oh, and then I guess I do have 2 YA books, I just realized. I have Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. I've only read one of her books, so I wanted to give another one a try. And this is one I've heard some good things about. And then I got Split Second by Casey West. I've read all of Casey West's like YA, like romance contemporaries. And this is one that's more like a speculative fiction, I believe, or a thriller. And I hadn't read that, and it's a duology. I don't know if this is the first or the second. I'll have to look that up. But I figured since it was 25 cents, I might as well pick it up and try it. And then I got The Survivors Club by Lisa Gardner. And she writes thrillers, but I've never read her before. She's a popular author. So I just figured I'd pick this one up because it seemed like it was a standalone. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it'll turn out to be a detective that she's writing a whole series about. I don't know, but I figure a lot of those you could just pick up anyways. So I'm assuming that's just a detective kind of thriller. And the last one, I don't know why I picked this up because I don't really know if I'm interested in reading it. And it's huge, but I hear people talk about it. And that's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I actually don't even know what this book is about, but I just always hear people put it on their like intimidating TBR list because it is like a giant book. Like, how many pages is this thing? Like, I guess it's only like 800 pages, but it feels like a brick. Like, it feels very heavy. So I don't know. I'm gonna look more into this before I decide if I'm actually gonna keep it. It was just like very chaotic in this sale. So anytime I saw anything I'd never heard of, really, I just picked it up. Because it was one of those sales where almost everything was like James Patterson or Danielle Steele, like those big, you know, like mass-producing authors. And I know I didn't want those books. So anytime there was something that I'm like, oh, that's like something different, I just picked it up because it was chaotic. There were a lot of people. So yes, this is one of those instances where I might end up regretting buying all these. And that's it. That is my book haul for the summer. I will put the link for the charity I'm donating to down below. And if you would like to talk about any of these books, like if you've read them and want to tell me which ones I should start with, let me know down in the comments. Thanks. Bye.